basically are going to make it like a game of tennis. Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out, all that jazz. Bad news for Ten Hag outers, says Luke Evans, because he has a very viable excuse with all of the injuries. We're going to talk about that because I don't think he does. I'd just like to start the show off with this headline. Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag is stuck in survival mode and he might not ever get out as the problems rise at Manchester United. I wrote that. And I think it's a very, very fair reflection of where Manchester United are this morning. We are surviving. We are scraping wins. He is surviving. The team is surviving. But will he ever get out of survival mode? That's my problem this morning. I don't see...
When you need to dash, but can't find your Galaxy Z Flip 5? Just ping it from your Chromebook. Even when it's on silent. So you're on your way in no time. Aw, sweet. The new Galaxy Z Flip 5 and Chromebook. Better together.
You need discipline, perseverance, and a well-executed game plan, both on the pitch and with your skincare routine. 1. Wet your face. 2. Grab your face wash. 3. Apply your moisturizer.
I don't see the Ten Hag out thing. You know, I'm Ten Hag in. But I am starting to be very critical of what's going on because I feel that we are stuck in a survival mode and he doesn't look like he can get out of it. He can't get his team to create chances for his striker. Rasmus hasn't scored a goal in the Premier League. He's scored goals in the Champions League, but he's not scoring in the Premier League. That is a defined issue where we can't score goals in the Premier League. We can't create chances in the Premier League. We're relying on defenders. I think Casemiro is probably still our top scorer in the Premier League. He's got mountains of problems. He is now relying on the likes of Lindelof, Maguire and McTominay, who he didn't even pick last year. And there's a reason he's relying on those players, because he's burnt out the players he used last year. So we're going to dive into the facts here, because what I'm looking at is, I'm worried. As a Ten Hag inner, I'm worried about the future of Man United under him, because I think things are getting worse. I don't think they're getting better. But then he probably will win Manager of the Month next year, because there are positive things like Man United have won more points in the Premier League in the last 5 games than any other team. He's also the first manager in Manchester United's history to get to 30.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's a late Sunday night, Sunday evening stream. Obviously, we're only going to play a couple of games, and yeah, man, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. You know, it's the weekend. As always, the weekend has gone. Sorry, yeah, the weekend has obviously gone in a flash, as always. So, you know, that's how it is every weekend. It's only 2 days, unfortunately. Weekend is 2 days, and it's not fair, man. You need at least 3 days would be nice. But the thing is, the issue is when you say at least 3 days, and if they ever implement 3 days, then people will say, you know what, it should be 4 days, and then obviously the economy is gonna go down. It's not like it's already shit as it is, but economy's gonna go down. The working people are gonna, you know, yeah. So it's yeah. However, 3 days I think is fine. 3-day weekend is fine. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? You know, I think that's probably good. So, I mean, it's not gonna happen, but you know, maybe in the future, one of the days, yeah. But thank you for joining, everyone. Let's get the games rolling, man. Hopefully, I can win a couple of games today, and I'm just listening to Mark Aubrey as a background because you know, if you watch the Chelsea game today, what a game, you know, what a game, Chelsea versus City, great game, loved it. Let me just rewind this. I need to hear what you're saying.
And there's a reason he's relying on those players, because
shit.
he's burnt out the players he used last year. So we're going to dive into the facts here, because what I'm looking at is get his team to create chances for his striker. Rasmus hasn't scored a goal in the Premier League. He's scored goals in the Champions League, but he's not scoring in the Premier League. That is a defined issue where we can't score goals in the Premier League. We can't create chances in the Premier League. We're relying on defenders. I think Casemiro is probably still our top scorer in the Premier League.
Somehow Casemiro is.
Mountains of problems. He is now relying on the likes of Lindelof, Maguire,
McTominay
pick last year, and there's a reason he's relying on those players, because he's burnt out the players he used last year.
Yep.
So we're going to dive into the facts here, because what I'm looking
surprised Bruno's not burnt out.
As a Ten Hag inner, I'm worried about the future of Man United under him because I think things are getting worse.
Things are only gonna get worse, man.
But then he probably
When I build a PC tomorrow, then I can help you. Bro, we can rank up. Hey, I need all the help I can get, my brother, man.
In the last 5 games than any other team. He's also the first manager.
I need all the help I can get. What PC have you got? I mean, I don't really know much about PCs, but what PC? What's the hard drive? What's the graphics card you got? GPU? Oh my god, that was bad. What?
Revolving around injuries, start of play.
How the hell am I missing these shots? What?
Happy Diwali as well. I was watching Saturday.
How am I missing these shots? It's unheard of.
Which is all around Diwali, so everybody's enjoying that.
But to be fair, as soon as the rank comes out on Modern Warfare 3, I'm on that shit. I don't think I'm not really gonna play Valorant as much. I'm gonna be on the Modern Warfare 3. But welcome back, man. Welcome back to the stream, man. Hope you had a good weekend, man, bro.
Let's start about injuries. What's the latest with Rasmus? What's the latest with Ericsson?
6. Never do I miss 6.
We saw him go off yesterday.
Oh
At
god.
the moment, they're assessing it. He could be out for 2 days. He could be out for 2 months. They don't know at the moment, and it would be remiss and wrong of anybody to start predicting. I would think the case.
I can't even see on my aimbot. That's the worst thing.
Can I just say as well, Newcastle lost 2-0 last night. Spurs lost. The opportunity is there. There are positives.
Should do 300 FPS. Damn, man.
Like it's opening up itself.
Oh my god. I built a PC for esports. Not crazy. Just a budget PC for esports, not crazy, but should do 300 frames per second. Yeah, hey man, it's quite a bit. PC is expensive as well, but I mean, to be fair, they're not expensive anymore. You can get a lot of stuff worth your money now. But 300 FPS is good, man. You need that shit these days.
Why not? I just don't do it. But also interesting, at the end of the game, the Newcastle travelling support. It's a long way from Newcastle to Bournemouth. Trippier, the captain, getting involved in a bit of a set too with his fans, saying, "I haven't seen how many injuries we've got." I thought, what a load of crap. These fans have travelled, you know, the length of the country, and you're moaning about injuries. I mean, come on. And also, if Bruno Fernandes did that, he'd be absolutely slaughtered, which tells you exactly what the problem is in the UK with access. Because if that was Bruno Fernandes saying to Man United fans, 2-0 loss at Bournemouth, and you've not seen all the injuries we've got, they'd absolutely destroy him. I actually quite like it when you get clips like that. I sit back and I go, mic drop. We've been talking about this for years. The way foreign players get treated compared to British players is absolutely abysmal. You know as well as I do, if Bruno Fernandes, after a Man United loss away from home, is shouting at the fans, "Have you not seen all the injuries we've got?" You know,
oh my god, I'm so horrible on my right.
Overpaid, out of touch, arrogant bastard. That's what they would say. But no, it's Trippier, so it's absolutely fine. And they'll find a way to spin a positive. So call it out. Call it out. That's what.
13. Let's go. Let's do it again.
Rasmus Højlund injured, could be long term, could be short term. Ericsson injured again.
So of course we'll play a little bit of Modern Warfare 3 as well. Maybe if I got time.
Is talking about injuries like we're going to get better.
Oh my god.
It's going to get worse, and I know why it's going to get worse.
Beautiful. Oh no.
Using as an excuse, in the same way Eddie Howe has to, the same way Pochettino has to, and the same way Ange has to. This is not something that happens and then everything goes back to normal. In the last week, Johnny Evans, Rasmus, and Ericsson.
Oh my god.
That's on top of all the horrible injuries we've got already. I think people think when we get everyone back from injury, we're going to be fine. When we get Luke Shaw back, we might lose
14.
Rashford and Højlund. It's going to keep happening because there's a very, very evident reason why we've got injuries.
I was trying my boys to come online, but he's gotta go bed, man. He's gotta work tomorrow early in the morning. Crack it down.
And it's really interesting.
Fuck.
People around the club,
Fuck.
some on the official, some of them not.
Oh my god.
And there is
Oh
a
no.
strong rumour around United, and you've seen it in the press anyway, over the last few months, that the reasons for the injuries are because of the way that Ten Hag trains his team.
Bro, what am I doing?
To look at that. because I don't think some injuries are down to hard, because some of them are just down to tackle. If you look at Andy Carroll's tackle on Ericsson in the FA Cup in January,
This has to be the worst one yet.
Ericsson is trained. That's a bad tackle, and that's a big problem. Happy Diwali to Mark and the United Stances. But look at
this has to be the worst one. 8
at the moment, and look at how many games they played last season. Wan-Bissaka only played about 30 games last season, but
the worst one,
was
yeah.
very intense. He didn't really start playing till December, so it was a very intense, something like 30 games for Wan-Bissaka. Martinez, 40 games. Rashford, 46 games. Casemiro, 43 games. Luke Shaw, 40 games. All these people, apart from Rashford to be fair, are picking up injuries. And they all played over 40 games last season.
Try something.
And they're not available. Now look at this. Lindelof, under 30 games. Maguire, 16 games. McTominay, 16 games. McTominay, Maguire, Lindelof didn't hardly play last year, and now they're in the first team. All the players that played last season, apart from Bruno, who's a robot, and Rashford, who isn't in good form, were all playing over 40 games. So all these injuries we get are because we burn our players out. The Casemiros, the Luke Shaws, the Wan-Bissakas, the Martinez, the Varane, we burn our players out. And now what we're doing is we're using the players that we didn't burn out last year. This is not about form. This is not about, you know, ability. This is about burning out our players. And of course, Højlund wasn't here last year. Mount wasn't here last year. Onana wasn't here last year. Delo didn't play that much in the back half of last season. Another one that's not been burnt out. All the players we burnt out at the end of last season are basically injured or out of form. And all the players that are playing quite well for us, or, well, we're not playing well, are players that didn't play last year. So when people say, when we get our players back, injuries are going to be fine, that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that these injury problems are going to keep happening because the way that we use our players, we burn
mental.
out.
Look at that.
We have to go back to others. So what I would predict will happen is that McTominay will get injured at some point in the next 3 or 4 months. So will Delo. So
Like a massive dot.
So will Lindelof. And we'll go back to using Casemiro, Varane, and those players again who've had a bit of a rest. This is a problem. This is a problem. And the bottom line is, injuries are not going to go away. I think there are people going, when we get everybody back, we're not going to get everybody back because we're going to continually burn out players and we're going to continually get injuries. Rasmus Højlund's probably just played, well, he certainly played 3 games in a week. We're overplaying our players. That's what's happening. We're overplaying our players. The same players get picked last season and the same players are getting picked this season.
I need the outline.
Players are getting burnt out. It's really simple. And I don't think it's going to get any better. So that's a massive concern because I think there is this belief in the fan base that we're suddenly going to get everybody back, and we're not. We've had 3 separate injuries to 3 separate players in the last week. 2 weeks before that, or the week before that, we had Casemiro against Newcastle. From the last international break to this one, we've picked up quite a few injuries. We are regularly picking up injuries. There is a training issue at Manchester United. Now, it might not be Ten Hag's issue, it might be fitness, but there is a problem. Such an unhinged comment about Trippier, because if Rashford said the same to fans, you and everyone else would crucify him. Now, to do with foreign bias is not important. I disagree. It's not about. I actually will come back on that one with a comment that will sit you down. We were talking about the media and the foreign bias. We weren't talking about fans. So you have jumped headfirst into shark-infested waters and been devoured. Jared has been a member for 16 months. Thank you very much. And also, let's just move on to something else I want to talk about, because regards to injuries, that is very interesting. The McTominays, the Maguires, the Lindelofs hardly played last year, and now they're big important players. All the big important players last year who were overplayed are all bloody injured. So you've got to look at this and go, this is just not how to manage a squad.
Get the most of Grammarly free.
0.
On behalf of Grammarly, to tell you all about the free version of the best communication assistant in the world. Millions have chosen to go beyond their default grammar.
Imagine I do it like this, it'd be absolutely hilarious.
My cousin Izzy, a graphic designer, is one of them. Izzy loves how quick and reliable Grammarly is at providing feedback. Another reason Izzy signed up for Grammarly is its conciseness suggestions, something she wasn't getting from default grammar checkers. Grammarly notices.
You mind if I use this?
Helps her rephrase this
horrible
sentence with one click. Izzy also wants to feel like her tone is on point, so she uses Grammarly's tone detector to show how a reader may understand her writing. Here, Izzy's email is optimistic, friendly, and admiring. Izzy sends the email confident that it's mistake-free, concise,
Oh my God.
and on target. And what did it cost her? All of it. It was free.
Download for free at grammarly.com.
This looks horrible.
Grammarly, one of the best AI-powered tools.
Yeah. We're not using that. That's disgusting. I think the outline thickness should be there though. Definitely. What if I do it like this? I don't really see shit. We go back to imported one here and on. There you go. Bit more visible. I like it. It's going to improve my shots. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is off. I just, wherever is in the background YouTube advert, I need to take that off. Oh shit. I'm not looking. Not looking good for me, boys. What is this?
I also have a big problem with the way that we're playing football at the moment.
Okay.
For me, there are so many stats in football, but I think that one of the big things for me as a football fan and as a Man United fan is, at the end of the game, how many shots have we had on target?
Let's go. Let's just play.
Because you can shoot 20 times from 30 yards out and never hit it on target. But generally, I think shots on target is I don't really trust stats anyway, but I think shots on target at the end of a game gives you a good indication of how the game sort of went. If Wolves beat Man City 1-0, I'll look at shots on target, because I guarantee Wolves will have had 2 and Man City will have had 8, and it will just be one of those days where Man City couldn't put it in the back of the net, but they had the better of the play, and that's what did happen in that game. Look at United's style of play at the moment. At home to Luton yesterday, 4 shots on target for Luton, 4 shots on target for Manchester United.
Match
That's Manchester
found.
United at Old Trafford against Luton Town. 4 shots on target for them, 4 shots on target for us. And we're meant to believe we're playing good football. Against Copenhagen in Copenhagen, 8 shots on target for them, 8 shots on target for us. Against Fulham last week, 3 shots on target for them, 5 shots on target for us. But they did have 18 shots altogether to our 12. So again, very, very close. Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, we're at home, 2 shots on target in 90 minutes at Old Trafford, 5 shots on target for Newcastle. City, well, no surprises here, 3 shots on target for us, 10 shots on target for them. Copenhagen at home, where we won 1-0, 5 shots on target for us, 4 shots on target for them. And then Sheffield United, where we beat them 1-0, 6 shots on target for Sheffield United, 5 shots on target for us. Mate, tell me about the style of play at Man United at the moment. It's getting by. Like, everybody we play, we are letting, you know, I don't even know what to describe it as, but 4 shots on target with Luton, 4 shots on target for us yesterday, and this has been consistent this international break.
Yeah, people left because
like top 4 having a detrimental impact on our long-term success.
Not happening, is it?
Public pressure and never establish a style of play, says Zero.
Game down.
Survival football. The squad doesn't have the players to play Ten Hag ball, apart from those that are now burnt out. 3 windows, and hopefully we will. Was always this way, says Sam. Mark, you can't blame Ten Hag for the club not supplying him with enough good players to rotate them, says Martin. Well, these are all valid points. I'm just feeding
Or dash, just subscribe.
this morning that
Thank you very much for the subscription. I think they always get me. Thank you for subscribing, 4dash.
And Luton and Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, we haven't played well.
Thank you for subscribing, 4dash.
Premier League games out of 4,
Look,
but we haven't played well.
Match
I've never seen that alert ever in my
We are
life.
in a position at the moment where we can pounce.
But 4dash, wherever you are, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you.
Do you think we're going to pounce?
I appreciate you.
We're going to pounce at all because
Thank you very much, man.
Games that we've won, and 3 of our wins. We've won 7 games in the Premier League, right? 3 of our wins. Luton, Sheffield United, and Burnley. The bottom 3, basically. So 3 of our wins are against the bottom 3. 1-0.
Hello.
Forest, they're down near the bottom. Fulham, they're down near the bottom. Brentford are actually the highest team we've beat in 9th, but let's be honest, it wasn't convincing.
It was not convincing.
Wolves we beat on the opening day, and they deserve to beat us. We've won 7 games against teams that are all pretty much down in the bottom half or relegation zone, to be frank. And that doesn't, you know, we're not playing well.
When date night's on, but dinner isn't, find a recipe fast on your Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5. Then pick up instantly in the same tab on your Chromebook. Chef's Kiss, the new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 and Chromebook. Better together.
Better together.
We've got huge amounts of injuries, which I think are going to continue. And
Alright, man, let's see what we got.
Are against teams that, you know, you really should be winning. And let's
We've got 3.
Champions League. How we
These
still got a
imposters
chance
actually
of
think
getting
We've got 3 duelists. We've got to be careful, man. It's going to be a super attacking squad.
UEFA should say you're not qualifying. I mean, how we've got a chance of qualifying, I do not know. 3 losses out of 4 in that as well. So it's not good. And
it's not good.
I find myself in this position where I'm sort of going, well, I'm very worried. I'm very worried indeed. We've got some really tough games coming after the international break. I think from tomorrow, we're going to get bombarded with spin about the Sir Jim Radcliffe stuff, which will take our minds away, some might say good, from the current situation with Manchester United. But I woke up this morning and I was just like, do you feel any different this morning than you did after that Luton game yesterday? Because I think the majority of Manchester United yesterday.
They'll probably be.
Joe says Mark's mood dictates the show, then he finds.
They might rotate though.
Joe, I'm not finding stats to back it up. I think you just need to go back to bed and have a sleep. You've been on a long shift or something, or I don't know what your problem is. I support Manchester United and I support this manager, but I felt fed up after Luton yesterday, and I feel fed up this morning. You don't have to tell us what the positive is. I'll go back to what I said at the start of the show. Eric Ten Hag is trapped in survival mode, and I don't think he's going to get out.
No!
That's a headline.
Oh.
Like butter, baby.
For you, last player standing.
Are we playing
Spike planted.
We're playing against Sheffield United and Luton, and we're having the same amount of shots, scraping and Fulham.
Drive them crazy, Race.
1-0 wins or 2-1
You're good at
wins.
that.
We are championing, quite rightly, performances from Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay, who we know aren't good enough, but are now big players in our first 11.
Somehow.
We are, we've got injuries that are stacking up and will continue to stack up, and the wins that we've had are against teams that aren't even that good in the league that we play. I think we are in survival mode, and I don't know that Ten Hag knows how to get out of it. And I've seen this happen with Mourinho and Solskjaer. It's the last chapter. You turn away from what you were trying to do to survive. And you survive for so long, but then survival football will never work against the likes of City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Brighton, Newcastle. They'll beat you. And then he's in trouble. He's got to step out of survival mode, and he's got to find a way in international break to find a way to step out of it. Because he can't continue going to Goodison Park, St James's Park, Anfield, playing like what we've seen yesterday and for the last month.
Blocking sight.
You can't. We've been there with Maguire and Lindelof and McTominay and Ericsson, and it'll get torn apart.
Here.
We can't keep living off a scrappy Lindelof goal in the box. It won't work. I want him to stay. I think sacking a man is ridiculous. But on the other hand,
no way, man.
The league this morning, you know, I'm really positive. Happen. Martial comes on again. Palestri ignored. How is this looking to the future? Great work at Fulham.
Fucking-
He should leave this club before his career rots. Says Sid
30
Fiddle.
seconds left.
So yeah, look, I'm always 100% sure that there's probably 80-90% of the people watching, like myself, that doesn't want to see 10
Watch it. Easy.
But I think he's in a massive.
It's you and me.
Spike down B.
Injury-wise, wake up and smell the coffee. Stop thinking that we're unlucky.
10 seconds left.
Sentry.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining. Last player
Nice.
standing.
Let's look at why people are getting so many injuries. Why are Man United getting so many injuries? It's not bad luck. It's too many games for too many players. No, too many games for
you
too
don't
few
deserve
players.
my invention.
And
They
why
have-
does Eddie Howe-
They really had vandals.
Because
Oh man.
if they use the other players,
Now
They
let's
give a
turn
shit,
this
did they?
around.
got to win. They've got to try and win every game. Ten Hag has given you the biggest clue why we have injury problems at Man United. Because we have to win every game. Last season, from January to May, we were playing 3 games a week. Weekend, midweek, weekend. And didn't rotate the team. He didn't rotate that team much at all. And now, most of those players,
Are
Rashford,
injured.
Bruno, out of form. Eriksen, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, injured. Wan-Bissaka's been injured. Varane out of form. All his big players last year are not playing well or injured because he overplayed them to win things. And he did win things. We got 3rd place and we got to 2 cup finals and we won a trophy. The flip side of that
Spike
is it's
planted.
not sustainable. And they're all either injured or out of form now. So I don't really understand.
Yo, this ISO guy keeps getting me with the headshots, man. How? Watch your back, guys. Watch your back.
It's a cop out, isn't it? When a manager
Yeah, say it is ISO there.
unlucky with injuries, somebody should put their hand up, and when they get pointed at, say, "But you're not unlucky with injuries, are you?"
One enemy remaining.
But you're not.
Swear to God, man. Keep dying, bro. Straight away, bro.
There.
Club that won't give you a squad like that. That's the honest
Good
answer,
play.
because if you look at the amount of times you've picked those players over the last 12 months, there's a very high percentage
Sorry to spoil the party.
those players are going to get injured. We're all more aware now of sports science, and you look at
Everyone
the way
makes fun of
you
German
try to play
efficiency.
football
Ha ha.
and the intensity you play
Just
at.
keep laughing as
The
you
amount
use
of
all my
times you
gear.
pick those players, there's a very high chance that you're going to pick up injuries. Well, I don't
Sick.
see what Ten Hag's answer would be to that. Because
Yeah,
you have to
kill or
lie
something,
and tell the
because
truth.
not looking
The
good.
bottom line is, and it was said by somebody a few minutes ago, Ten Hag's biggest problem is he doesn't have the squad depth when the injuries hit. We've bought a ball-playing goalkeeper, and we've got 2 centre-backs that he can't really pass to because they're not really progressive centre-backs. Maguire and Lindelof are not
Hey.
anywhere near what Man City or Liverpool
Hey.
or Arsenal or even Brighton have in relation to
Oops.
so he bought Onana for £50 million and he can't use it. And that's why people look at Onana and go, I'd rather have kept De Gea because basically Onana is only good as a shot stopper now because we can't use him in the way that he was bought for. So the big problem that Ten Hag has is he's burnt his good players out. His
Spike
backup players
down
can't play
A.
the way that he wants to play, and we end up in survival football because he hasn't got the squad that he
Placing
needs.
swarm
And the
grenade.
cycle continues.
Swarm
I
grenade
agree
out.
with what somebody said. If Ten Hag gets sacked, he's not going to get
Alarm bot
sacked
out.
because Martinez and Shaw and Casemiro have let him down. It'll be because he's picking McTominay, Eriksen in the midfield, and Maguire and Lindelof at centre back, who are decent-ish players, and a couple of them played well yesterday, but it's not. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for 3 years used those players apart from Eriksen, and the football was crap.